It is nice and cushy. Hello, this is Jeff Nature with AMD World Championship of Custom Bike Building. We're here at the 72nd Annual Sturgis Rally, and I'm with the BREW Dude. And we're looking at a very fine bike. It's a race bike that gets raced at some of the... Well, where does it get raced at?
Well, currently it's getting raced at the Ohio Mile, which is part of the ECTA, which is East Coast Time Association. All our numbers are basically registered for the United States, so if we do Bonneville or the Bub or anything, it's all we use the same number. And then we also made it legal so we can race WERA, which is vintage road racing, and it's in the GP 350 class, and then we also do the ARMA Sportsman 350. So we're really limited rule-wise on how much we can do and so forth.
Well, this is a fabulous looking bike. Tell us what bike it started out with to get it to where it is today.
Basically, we started out with a 73 Honda CB 350. The 350 is a really good class to get into racing because they've made millions of those motors. So parts are, readily available. They make a lot of race ignitions and so forth. We're real limited what we can do with the frame. It's a stamp frame and a pop rivet. Spot weld it. So we can re-weld all the plates back up, take all the excess off, but we really can't change the geometry. On the front end, we put a Honda 71 CL 450. It's a 35mm fork, a little bit bigger fork. And then we have to run drum brakes in these race classes, so we had to get rid of the disc. So that's the 450 front brake. We got aluminum Acrot rims on it, so we lost a lot of weight there. The really cool thing about this bike, it weighs 278 pounds wet.
That is a cool thing.
Yeah, it feels like you're riding a Honda Trail 70. It flies. So far we're hitting like 98 in the standing mile. We're way under geared, so we're re-gearing it. We got another meet in 3 weeks, and we should be hitting 105 to 108 the way it is. Motor-wise, we're limited. We have to keep the stock carbs and everything, so we're real limited on some things for power-wise. But it's been a real fun little bike. It basically, this is the one build that everything fought me. No matter what I did, it didn't go together right. It didn't want to be painted right. We do our own powder coat and everything, everything fought me. So instead of being like the last week to get ready for the Ohio Mile, it'd be a 40-hour week. It was a 120-hour week, and I still wasn't done and had to finish it that morning. So anytime that happens, the bike's real special. I don't know why, but when they go together hard, usually there's something that is special about the bike at the end. And so far, the bike has exceeded my expectations.
And in what way has it exceeded your expectations?
I was hoping to hit 90 in the beginning. Again, it hit right in the very first run. I was hitting like 98.7, 98.6, 98.5. It just ran out of gear, and I was like, wow! And everybody came out. These guys are hitting 216, 220, and they're coming up to me like, oh my gosh, your bike sounds better than mine. And they all like to see people work with small, little vintage, quirky things, right, and try to get them. I've always done that. If anything with the 45 flatheads or something, I've always tried to take the underdog and bring it up. So, and at the same time, when we built this bike, a lot of times people say, well, you should have done this and done this. Well, it wasn't really built as a show bike. It was built as a race bike. So that way, if it goes down, it's easy for me to change a cable or change a switch out and so forth. So it was made to also be easy to work on in a race circumstance.
Well, and looking at all the bikes here, this shows very, very well, but I'm expecting it to be one of the cheapest bikes built here.
It is the cheapest bike built here. There's probably people that have more in their wheels than I got in my bike, So, yeah, it's by far the cheapest bike in here. It's the lightest bike here. And, but yeah, it is by far the cheapest bike here. But, again, anything I've ever built has always been on the cheap end, and I try to do as much as I do everything ourselves.
Right.
There's, we do the paint, the ceramic coating, powder coating, welding, and everything. So, it brings it down real cheap too. So
now, if a guy was out there who was looking for some services like powder coating, they could get a hold of you. But tell us a little bit about the services that you provide other builders.
We do a lot of frame modifications. We do a lot of hardtail conversions and stuff like that. We do a lot of re-raking. A lot of the new bikes got double backbones for the gas tanks, and everybody wants to put a sporty tank or something, so we go to single backbones. I love building motors. I've been building motors since I've been 12. So engines have been one of my favorites, so we do engines too. I don't like doing really complete builds because it seems like they last too long. I like just getting one job done and so forth. I like doing exhaust systems. So we do a lot of powder coating, and we do a lot of ceramic coating too. So we don't do a lot of wet paint outside work.
So if a guy was out there wanting to get a hold of you, where would they go? Online, Facebook, telephone, where would they go?
Well, I'm really bad on Facebook.
So you don't want them to go there?
No. I'm on Facebook all the time, so I have no problem with Facebook, because probably every time you go on Facebook, I'm on it. We've had our own website since '95. We were one of the first to have a website on the web.
And your URL is?
www.racingframes.com.
And where would they find you on Facebook?
You could put Steve Garn, but normally if you just put Steve BREW Dude, all one word, not separated, and I'll be first up. Even if you do that Google-wise, if you type in like BREW Dude or BREW Bikes, it'll bring my website first up.
All right, well there's the 411. Thanks so much, and good luck in the show today.
Cool. I like your hat too.